If you've ever felt like your garden is just too small, too packed, or maybe just too limited, these perennial edible climbing vines will completely change what you believe is possible in a tight space. Because honestly, when you grow upwards, your garden suddenly expands without adding a single inch of ground. And today, I'll show you the 10 best perennial climbers that feed you year after year with almost no effort. These aren't just any plants, they are productive, incredibly resilient, and perfect even if you're just starting out. We're talking about turning a forgotten fence, a bare wall, or a simple trellis into a living pantry that provides food, shade, and beauty. The magic of vertical gardening is that it harnesses unused space, transforming it into a productive powerhouse. Imagine harvesting delicious fruits, crisp vegetables, and tender greens right outside your door, all while creating a lush green sanctuary. These vines are the ultimate solution for urban gardeners, balcony growers, or anyone who wants to maximize their yield without needing a huge plot of land. They are living proof that abundance doesn't depend on the size of your garden, but on how creatively you use the space you have. So, if you're ready to unlock the full potential of your garden and discover plants that keep on giving, you're in the right place. We're going to dive deep into 10 incredible perennial vines that will revolutionize your growing game. No more feeling constrained by your square footage. Let's get straight into the list and start growing up. Kicking off our list at number 1 is the incredible passion fruit vine, or Passiflora edulis. If you live in a warmer climate, zones 9 to 11, this is an absolute must-have. The plant itself is stunning with intricate otherworldly flowers that are a showstopper in any garden. But the real prize is the fruit. Each one is a little package of tropical sunshine, with an aromatic tangy pulp that's perfect for drinks, desserts, or just scooping out with a spoon. It's a fast-growing, vigorous climber, so you absolutely need to give it something sturdy to grab onto, like a strong trellis, a pergola, or a chain-link fence. To keep your passion fruit vine happy and productive, think about its roots. It loves consistently moist soil, but it hates having wet feet. Good drainage is non-negotiable. I find that a deep watering once or twice a week, depending on the heat, is usually enough. You want the soil to feel like a wrung-out sponge, not a soggy mess. A thick layer of mulch around the base will help retain that moisture and keep the soil temperature stable, which is crucial for root health. This simple step can make a huge difference in how well your vine performs throughout the long, hot summer months. When it comes to feeding, passion fruit vines are hungry growers. To support all that lush foliage and heavy fruit production, you need to provide plenty of nutrients. I like to feed mine with a good quality compost tea every 4 to 6 weeks during the growing season. This provides a balanced diet of macro and micronutrients in a form the plant can easily absorb. It also enriches the soil biology, creating a healthier ecosystem for your vine to thrive in. With the right support, water, and food, you'll be harvesting an abundance of these exotic treats. Next up, we have a plant that laughs in the face of summer heat. Malabar spinach. Now technically, it's not a true spinach, but it's used in the exact same way. The leaves are thick, glossy, and succulent, with a mild, slightly peppery flavor that's fantastic in salads, stir-fries, or wilted into soups. Unlike regular spinach that bolts as soon as the temperature rises, Malabar spinach thrives in the heat and humidity, producing an endless supply of leaves all summer long. It's a beautiful vine, with reddish-purple stems that look incredible as they twist and climb up a trellis or fence. This vine is incredibly easy to grow and is a fantastic choice for beginners. It climbs readily and will quickly cover any support you give it. If you let it go, it will even produce little berries that, while not particularly tasty, will ensure the plant self-seeds for the following year, giving you a truly perennial harvest in many climates. To keep those leaves tender and delicious, the key is consistent watering. A deep watering a few times a week encourages the roots to grow deep into the soil, making the plant more resilient. Don't let it dry out completely, as that can make the leaves tough. For a little extra boost, I like to give my Malabar spinach a monthly treat of what I call banana peel water. It's simple. Just soak a few banana peels in a jar of water for a couple of days. The water will absorb potassium and other micronutrients from the peels, creating a gentle, natural fertilizer. This little trick promotes lush, vigorous leaf growth, ensuring you have a steady supply of greens right through the hottest part of the year. It's an effortless way to keep this productive vine pumping out food for your table. At number 3 is a plant that defines abundance, the chayote vine. This member of the gourd family is an absolute workhorse in the garden, producing dozens, sometimes hundreds, of light green, pear-shaped fruits from a single plant. The fruit has a mild flavor, somewhere between a cucumber and a potato, and it's incredibly versatile. You can bake it, fry it, stuff it, or add it to stews. But that's not all. The tender shoots and leaves are also edible and make a delicious steamed green. This is a plant that truly gives you multiple harvests from one vine. Because it's such a heavy producer, the chayote vine needs very strong support. A flimsy trellis just won't cut it. Think about growing it over a sturdy arbor, a reinforced fence, or the side of a shed. To get it started, you take a whole fruit and plant it. A little trick is to soak the fruit in water for a day or two before planting. This helps to kickstart the germination process. Plant it at a 45-degree angle with the wide end down and the narrow end just poking out of the soil. Before you know it, a vigorous shoot will emerge, ready to start its climb. Chayote is a thirsty plant, especially once it starts setting fruit. I recommend a deep watering every 3 days or so, more if you're in a particularly hot and dry climate. Consistent moisture is key to getting large, juicy fruits. To help the soil retain that water and to suppress weeds, applying a thick layer of mulch around the base of the plant is one of the best things you can do. Wood chips, straw, or shredded leaves all work perfectly. This simple practice will protect the roots and keep your chayote vine happy and incredibly productive all season long. Coming in at number 4 is a plant that's as beautiful as it is productive, the scarlet runner bean. As the name suggests, this vine produces stunning clusters of brilliant red flowers that are a magnet for hummingbirds and pollinators. But you know, it's not just for show. These flowers give way to long, fuzzy pods that contain large, protein-rich beans. You can harvest the pods when they're young and tender, and cook them like green beans. Or you can let them mature on the vine, dry them, and store the beans for use in soups and chilies throughout the winter. What makes this bean special is that in warmer climates, so zones 7 and up, it can be grown as a perennial. The plant forms a tuberous root that overwinters in the ground and sends up new shoots the following spring. This means you plant it once and it comes back year after year, getting bigger and more productive each season. It's an enthusiastic climber, so give it a fence, a trellis, or an obelisk to scramble up. It quickly creates a beautiful, dense screen of heart-shaped leaves and vibrant flowers, making it a perfect edible ornamental. To keep your scarlet runner bean vine thriving, a little bit of food during the growing season goes a long way. I like to give mine a dose of diluted fish fertilizer every few weeks. This provides a gentle source of nitrogen to support healthy leaf growth without overwhelming the plant and preventing it from flowering. Just mix it according to the package directions and water it in at the base of the plant. With minimal effort, you get a plant that feeds your eyes, feeds the pollinators, and fills your pantry. At number 5, we have one of the most charming and fun-to-grow vines out there, the perennial cucumber, also known as cucamelon or mouse melon. These vigorous vines produce an incredible amount of tiny, grape-sized fruits that look exactly like miniature watermelons. But when you bite into one, you get a burst of tangy, citrusy cucumber flavor. They are perfect for snacking on right in the garden, pickling, or tossing into salads for a surprising crunch. Kids absolutely love harvesting these, and honestly, they are so prolific you'll have more than you know what to do with. One of the best things about cucamelons is how easy they are to grow. They are remarkably drought-tolerant once established and seem to be unfazed by many of the pests and diseases that plague regular cucumbers. The vine itself is delicate and wiry, so it doesn't need a super strong support system. A simple string trellis, a piece of netting, or even the stalks of a corn plant will work just fine. In warmer zones, the plant will form a tuber that overwinters, returning the next year even stronger. In colder zones, you can dig up the tuber and store it like a dahlia. For care, these plants are wonderfully low maintenance. Water them when the top inch or two of soil feels dry to the touch, but don't overdo it. They really prefer to be on the drier side. To encourage heavy fruiting, a little bit of potassium is beneficial. An old-timer's trick is to add a small scoop of wood ash to the soil around the base of the plant once a month during the growing season. Wood ash is a great natural source of potassium and calcium, and this helps the plant produce an endless stream of those delightful little cucamelons all summer long. Number 6 is a true classic that has been cultivated for thousands of years, the grapevine. There is something incredibly rewarding about growing your own grapes. A well-established vine can produce an astonishing amount of fruit, perfect for eating fresh, making juice, jams, or even your own wine. Beyond the harvest, grapevines are simply beautiful. They provide dappled shade in the summer, and their large, distinctive leaves add a touch of rustic elegance to any garden, whether they're trained over pergola, along a fence, or up an arbor. They truly transform a space. Now, grapes do require a bit more attention than some of the other vines on this list, but the payoff is immense. The two most important tasks are pruning and training. Pruning, which is typically done in late winter when the vine is dormant, is essential for managing the plant's size and encouraging fruit production. You're essentially telling the vine where you want it to put its energy. Training involves guiding the young canes onto your support structure to create a strong, open framework that allows for good air circulation and sun exposure, which helps prevent disease and ripen the fruit. To fuel all that growth and fruit production, grapevines benefit from regular feeding. I've found that a liquid seaweed fertilizer works wonders. It's packed with trace minerals and natural growth hormones that grapevines absolutely love. I apply it every 4 to 6 weeks from spring until the grapes start to change color. This provides a steady stream of nutrients that supports healthy foliage and helps develop sweet, flavorful fruit. Don't be intimidated by grapes. With a little bit of knowledge and care, you can enjoy a massive harvest from a single, beautiful vine. Moving on to number 7, we have a vine known for its incredibly rapid growth, the hops vine. While most people associate hops with brewing beer, they are also a fantastic edible perennial for the garden. The young shoots that emerge in spring, called hop spears, are a delicacy. You can harvest them when they are about 6 inches long, and steam or sauté them like asparagus. They have a unique, slightly nutty flavor. Of course, if you are a home brewer, you can also harvest the cones, or flowers, in late summer to add aroma and bitterness to your beer. Hops are what we call bines, not vines, meaning they climb by wrapping their main stem around a support rather than using tendrils. They are one of the fastest growing plants in the temperate world, capable of growing up to a foot a day in ideal conditions. This makes them perfect for creating a quick privacy screen or covering an unsightly wall in a single season. They die back to the ground each winter and then explode with new growth from their perennial root system called a rhizome each spring. They prefer rich, well-drained soil and a spot in full sun to really perform. To keep your hops vine vigorous, it's a good idea to prune out the old, dead stems at the end of each season. In the spring, as new shoots emerge, you can select the strongest 2 or 3 per rhizome to train up your support and trim back the rest. This focuses the plant's energy and prevents it from becoming an overgrown tangle. This annual cleanup and selection process is all it really takes to manage this incredibly vigorous and versatile plant, giving you both food and a fast-growing green screen. At number 8 is a plant that really lives up to its name, the perennial yard-long bean. Now, while it's not truly perennial in most climates, it sure behaves like one with its sheer productivity and its ability to thrive in the heat where other beans just can't keep up. This vine puts out these incredibly long, slender pods. Honestly, they can easily reach 2 to 3 feet in length. The flavor is nutty, and the texture is crisp, so they make a fantastic substitute for regular green beans, especially in stir-fries. The best part? The more you pick, the more the vine produces, so you get a continuous harvest all summer long. These beans are true heat lovers, and they're super resistant to those high temperatures that usually stop other bean varieties in their tracks. You'll want to give them a tall, sturdy support to climb, because the vines can get pretty long and heavy with all those pods. Simple bamboo poles set up in a teepee shape, or a strong netting trellis will work perfectly. Planting them along a fence is also a great way to make the most of your vertical space. They're not just productive though, they're also nitrogen fixers, which means they actually improve the fertility of your soil as they grow. For care, yard-long beans are really straightforward. A consistent watering schedule of about twice a week, depending on your climate, will keep them producing. Once the plants are established and the first season is underway, I highly recommend adding a thick layer of mulch around the base. This helps conserve soil moisture, which is just so important for pod production, and it also helps suppress weeds that would compete for nutrients. With this simple setup, you can enjoy an almost endless supply of these amazing, super long beans. Number 9 is a plant that might actually surprise you, the everlasting sweet potato vine. While a lot of us grow sweet potatoes for their delicious tubers, the leaves are totally edible and, honestly, incredibly nutritious. They're packed with vitamins and have this mild, spinach-like flavor. You can toss them into salads, steam them, or add them to stir-fries and soups. The everlasting varieties are especially great because they focus their energy on producing a massive amount of leafy growth, rather than just big tubers, so you get a consistent harvest of greens. This vine is super versatile in how it grows. You can let it trail along the ground as a living mulch, or you can train it to climb up a trellis, a fence, or even a tomato cage. When you grow it vertically, it creates this beautiful, dense wall of lush, heart-shaped leaves. It absolutely loves heat and moisture, thriving in conditions where other greens might really struggle. It's just such a fantastic way to make sure you have a steady supply of fresh homegrown greens through the hottest summer months. To encourage that really lush leafy growth, a little bit of extra nutrition is helpful. Personally, I like to give my sweet potato vines a feeding of compost tea once a month. This gives a gentle, balanced source of nutrients that really helps with foliage production. Just a good drenching at the base of the plant is all it takes to keep the vine producing an abundance of tender, edible leaves. It's a 2-for-1 plant, a beautiful ornamental climber that also happens to be a delicious and productive food source. And finally, at number 10, we've got a plant that brings some truly exotic flavor to cooler climates, the Hearty kiwi berry vine. Unlike their fuzzy, subtropical cousins, these vines are incredibly hardy. Some varieties can survive temperatures down to -25 degrees Fahrenheit, or even colder. They produce an abundance of small, smooth-skinned, grape-sized fruits that you can actually eat whole, skin and all. The flavor is intensely sweet and complex, just like a regular kiwi, but honestly, sometimes even better. A mature vine can give you a massive crop, pounds and pounds of these delicious little fruits. Because they're such vigorous and long-lived plants, it's really important to provide a very strong, permanent support structure right from the start. Think sturdy pergola, T-bar trellis, or a heavy-duty arbor. These vines can live for 50 years or more and get quite heavy, so you'll want something that can last. Also, most varieties need both a male and a female plant for pollination, so be sure to plant at least one of each. There are some self-fertile varieties out there, like Isai, which are great if you're working with a smaller space. To get the best fruit production, consistent water is key, especially when the fruits are swelling. A deep watering once a week is a good rule of thumb, but you might need to do it more often during hot, dry spells. Mulching, heavily around the base, will help keep that crucial moisture in. It does take a few years for the vines to really get established and start producing heavily, but the wait is absolutely worth it. The reward is a yearly harvest of delicious bite-sized fruits that honestly will be the envy of your neighborhood. So, there you have it, 10 incredible perennial climbing vines that can completely transform what you thought was possible in a small garden. These plants are your secret weapon for maximizing your harvest, turning every vertical surface into a productive and beautiful part of your edible landscape. By growing up, you're not just saving space, you're multiplying your potential for abundance, creating layers of food that you can enjoy year after year. It's about working smarter, not harder, and using every inch of your garden to its fullest. From the tropical tang of passion fruit to the surprising crunch of cucamelons, each of these vines offers something unique for your garden and your plate. They prove that you don't need a sprawling backyard to grow a significant amount of your own food. All you need is a bit of sun, a sturdy support, and the willingness to look up. These resilient, low-maintenance climbers will reward you with food, beauty, and a deeper connection to the space you cultivate. Embrace the vertical dimension of your garden, and you'll unlock a whole new world of growing possibilities. If you found this guide valuable, subscribe to Nature's Blueprint, and share this video with another gardener who dreams of growing more in less space. Your next harvest might be hanging right above you.